They may not get the recognition that others do, but these heroes are still some of the best out there. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our top 10 underrated DC characters. Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we'll be shining a much-deserved spotlight on some of the DC Universe's most underappreciated characters.
Let's get on with it.
Soon. But first I have to make sure he is truly what they say.
Number 10, Wildcat.
And that means we have a winner! Still the undefeated champ, Wildcat!
While some heroes fight evil with incredible powers or high-tech gadgets, this cat-suited crime fighter makes do with just his fists. A former heavyweight prizefighter, Ted Grant was framed for the murder of one of his opponents and created a costumed alter ego while attempting to clear his name. After he was exonerated of the crime, Ted kept fighting crime and became a member of the Justice Society of America. Despite being a humble pugilist, Ted's gone toe-to-toe with some of the DC Universe's nastiest villains and has trained numerous other heroes in the art of combat. This includes Ted's son Tommy, who has the ability to transform into a werecat.
Believe me, fighting's nowhere near as tough as this is gonna be.
Number 9, Power Girl.
Is that true?
It's complicated.
No, it isn't.
This powerful hero dates back to the Silver Age of comics and is actually the classic version of Supergirl, whose Earth was destroyed in DC's epic Crisis on Infinite Earths event. At least that's who she is these days. Like many DC characters, her origins have had a revision or two over the years. But regardless of where she comes from, this is one powerhouse you don't want to mess with. Like all Kryptonians, she has staggering strength and resilience, which she puts to good use when the time comes to dish out the pain. She's loud, proud, and doesn't take any nonsense, and we wouldn't have her any other way.
You're absolutely sure this is going to work?
Does Power Girl have big...
Just feed it the numbers, kid.
Number 8, Animal Man. You'd think that a superhero who can channel the powers of animals wouldn't be the most interesting character out there, and for the most part, you'd be right. But this DC underdog got really interesting really fast when his first solo series, penned by writer Grant Morrison, came out in the 1980s. Under Morrison, the character was not only used to comment on animal rights issues, but also taken on a head-spinning existential journey that ended up with him face-to-face with his own writer after becoming aware of his own fictional nature. And when he's not neck-deep in complex meta-commentary, the character is also a devoted husband and father. Number 7, the Spectre.
Spectre, what's your stake in all of this?
That depends on you.
Perhaps one of the most powerful heroes in the DC pantheon, this green-cloaked anti-hero is the literal embodiment of the wrath of God, the angel of vengeance charged with punishing the guilty. So naturally, he's no pushover. Over the years, the character has taken a number of human hosts through which to carry out his mission, including police detective Jim Corrigan and former Green Lantern Hal Jordan. The character's thirst for vengeance against any wrongdoers has put him firmly in the anti-hero camp on many occasions, especially when he lacks a human host to keep him grounded. So what we're saying is, don't get on his bad side.
Funny how Chill just happened to be under that crumbling ceiling when it came down.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
Number 6, Dr. Fate.
My apologies for the delay.
And speaking of characters from the more mystical side of the DC universe, this supernatural character dates back to some of the earliest DC stories, having been a founding member of the Justice Society of America. Empowered by the otherworldly Lords of Order, the many characters who have taken on the role have all been incredibly powerful spellcasters, charged with guarding the earthly realm against all manner of magical threats. This means that the good doctors have faced everything from gods, demons, and even the sinister Lords of Chaos.
Give it up, Naboo! Order went out of style in the 20th century!
Number 5, The Question.
You fell asleep. Excuse me if I bore you.
Suitable for a hero without a face, this crime fighter is an ambiguous figure waging a one-man war against crime ever since initially appearing in the pages of Charlton Comics, before the character was acquired by DC. Operating from the shadows, this crusading detective is dedicated to uncovering corruption and conspiracies, no matter how sinister. He may not have superpowers, but don't let that fool you into thinking he's a pushover. He's one of the most capable martial artists in the DC universe. With his face obscured by a mask made of an experimental material called pseudoderm, he's been a thorn in the side of corruption and graft everywhere.
It bites having someone in your head, doesn't it?
Number 4, Booster Gold.
Can I have your autograph?
Of course you can.
I thought you were Green Lantern.
Some superheroes get into the spandex scene thanks to a deep-set altruism and a need to make the world a better place. This gold-clad glory seeker isn't one of them. Once a star athlete turned janitor in the 25th century, this hero would steal a number of superhero-related equipment from a museum and travel back in time to make a name for himself as a 20th century crime fighter. He's been somewhat successful, but as often as he's found glory and fame, he's spent just as much time palling around with his best pal, Blue Beetle. He may not be the most upstanding superhero in the game, but his heart's in the right place. Well, usually.
For the last time, I am not Green Lantern. My name is...
Just kidding. I know who Booster Gold is.
Number 3, Static.
What do you think? Don't know what to think, Rich. But I'll keep an electric eye out for him.
This electrifying hero originally debuted in the pages of Milestone Comics, a publisher with a focus on minority characters. The publisher eventually went under, but after a successful animated series in the 2000s, the character was brought into the DC universe and made a member of the Teen Titans. When not using his electric powers to fight crime, he's just a normal everyday teenager with a passion for all things geeky, and he often has trouble balancing his personal life with his career as a costumed hero. And who wouldn't?
Well, time to head home. Amen. But the subway's out, okay?
Number 2, Hawkman and Hawkgirl.
My real name is Katar Hall. But you can call me Hawkman.
Remember before when we said that DC heroes can sometimes go through several origin stories? Well, these winged heroes are no exception. The pair were originally an archaeologist and his wife who used magical Egyptian artifacts to fight crime. Later on, the pair were rewritten as alien police officers from the planet Thanagar. Getting the various incarnations of DC's favorite winged couple to make sense is a continuing headache, but the two are nevertheless some of their fiercest fighters in the DCU, using magical weapons made of nth metal to dish out justice from their home in Midway City.
I've waited thousands of years for us to find each other. I can wait a little longer.
Before we reveal our number 1 pick, be sure to check out these honorable mentions. Number 1, Swamp Thing.
John Constantine, you dare threaten the Green.
The chosen avatar of the Green, the collective power of Earth's plant life, this mossy Avenger's mission is to protect the Earth from any who would do her harm, included but limited to us humans. This has put him at odds with other heroes before, but his wife Abigail keeps his distrust of humans in check. And thank goodness for that, as his powers over plant life makes him a force to be reckoned with, one capable of going toe to leafy toe with DC's best. He's even given Batman a pummeling and helped fight off demons, supervillains, and the primordial darkness. Think about that next time you break out the weed whacker.
I will take you there, so you are no longer here.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.